So I'm Katharina.
And I'm Sylvia. Hi.
Hi, and we are both running the space, Alpha Nova and Gallery Futura. And the space already exists for more than 30 years, and it was initiated by activists of the Women Peace movement in former West Berlin. And they had the idea to create a space which interlinks activism and art stuff, and providing a platform, especially for women artists, to present their works and their ideas in a very male-dominated field. And after 25 years, generational change, let's say, was initiated by my former colleague Anne Kohl and me. We overtook the gallery as new art directors from this elderly generation of women who started the project. And we moved the project to this space where we are now, at Fluggraben, on the border between Treptow and Kreuzberg. And we also changed the direction, the curatorial conception a bit, let's say. So before it was more a space which really tried to promote women artists in their professional career, and we started to rethink again what could a feminist space be, and a feminist conception of curatorial practices. So this was more or less a starting, and then we have.
I mean, we're like mostly we're non-commercial, so it's like not like a classical gallery where you where you represent artists. So like our organization is then like more like a project space, I would say, because there's like no artists we represent on like a regular basis. We're not like selling artworks, or we don't exist in order to sell artworks. And I would say like this gallery is really special but like we still have a state funding, so we're still like funded by the Berlin Senate. And what makes it special is also, I would say, that we represent, or like we show artists and female artists from like a really early stage on in their careers, and we're also like really approachable. So
and I think it was. So for us it was always important to, of course, to highlight certain topics, gender-related, gender-political, queer topics, and also issues which are connected to decolonial perspectives and anti-racist perspectives. But on the one hand, or on the other hand, we will always try to keep a discussion on what feminist curatorial practice can be, like about different forms of communication, collaborations, what could solidarity practice be in this concept, what could it mean in this context, how can we share resources in a more
I mean, I would say like my idea of a feminist utopia is obviously intersectional, because we're talking about this, is also like a utopia, I think, where like gender and sexuality doesn't play any role anymore, and race obviously as well, and disability, and sizeism, and beauty standards, and whatever you want to call it. And it's a space, or it's like a space where bodies can move freely and without fear. What else?
I think definitely affordable housing for everyone, and ways of living collectively together, also individual, so depending on the different needs of the people. where you can work collectively or individually, so also depending on the different needs of people. So everything should be really was soll denn ausgerichtet sein? So.
Constructed for? I don't know.
Yeah. So okay, Scott.
I would. I'm more about like an utopia. I mean, I would like question the concept of work in general, because like when I'm reading Radical, I would kind of like there would like be no capitalist system that is like exploiting I don't know whom and like celebrating or like glorification of busyness is just like nothing that is existent in like feminist utopia, and there's no like ideas of I don't know, what does it mean to be like to function? What does it mean to be productive in a feminist utopia? I think we still like need to figure this out, but it would be definitely different than now. And like good character traits where it would not be like a lot of ones we have now in a capitalist society that is like still taking so-called stereotypical male ideas like strength and force and whatever. This like kind of things will not be regarded as good as they are now, but like more compassion, empathy, solidarity. So I'm just like kind of this utopia could go on forever.
Yeah, a mindful society, definitely.